Hey, I am with Greg Rikaart and Billy Flynn at Days 2022. I have not seen you guys in person, so this is really nice. Greg, so great to see you. So they've kept Leo on the show, and now it's him and Sonny are like, people are like, are they gonna like doodle doodle? Like, what's the deal?
We get closer.
How do you feel about that after all the machinations? He really did terrible things to Sonny.
Well, Sonny rolled him up in a rug and tried to
there's
his
that.
body. So anytime I am accused of doing bad things to Sonny and Will, I remind them that this is not me just getting my rocks off. This is like, you did something bad, and I have been plotting revenge because of that. I adore Zach Tinker. I love working with Zach. And so turning the page somewhat on that chapter of our relationship and moving on to something that is more wholesome was nice to have something different to play with.
So you would welcome if it was to become a romance, you would be down for it.
I mean, would Leo ever say no to the opportunity to get in bed with somebody cute? No. So sure, of course, I'd be open to it.
So Billy, Abigail Klein. So you have Stephanie, but now Alex is in the picture. And where is he at with it? Is he trying to move on now past Abigail with her?
No.
So loud.
I mean, for Christ's sake, who are the day players?
Are the day players?
No. I certainly didn't see it as that. I looked at it as, listen, when you're hurting, you reach out to people or to anything that will make you feel better, make you not hurt as much. So to me, that's what Stephanie is at the moment. She's somebody who cares for Chad and cares about Chad and his children, and I think that feels nice. Feels good to not feel so bad, and but I don't think Chad has any.
He's not further down.
He's not planning on this being a thing. It's he's going minute to minute. But it does feel good, and I imagine there's moments in that. I know there were moments for me that I wanted Chad to look at her and not see somebody he saw as a potential love interest, but miss the when he looks at her, miss Abigail sitting across from them, interacting with them, being, I think it's a pairing of four, him and Abby and their two kids. When you see Stephanie, there's an initial feeling of this is nice, and then followed by, but that's not my person. So that's what I went into it with, and I think if he seems jealous, it's because he probably feels a bit he wasn't able to protect Abigail, and Alex in Chad's eyes is a douchebag and a terrible choice and misogynistic and all this other stuff. So I think he finds kind of it's not his place, but he steps up to try to, I guess, do for her what he couldn't do for Abigail in a weird way, which is how I looked at it. Yeah.
So do you want to see Chad more in your orbit, Leo's orbit?
Do I want to see Chad in Leo's orbit? Oh, God, no. Next question. No, honest
truth.
The truth is, Chad is so enamored by and crazy about Leo that he can't see straight. He can't see straight. Look, I adore Billy. Leo clearly adores Chad, and there is definitely a palpable chemistry, but not all chemistry has to be sexual. In this case, it absolutely is. Leo has always had a thing for Chad, and I love working with Billy.
So you are going to have a storyline with Leo.
What? No, not that we know. Not yet. I mean, don't don't
We don't
whisper.
want to
anything.
flame the fire.
Yeah, don't tell Ron. No, love it. I think we have a really good chemistry. It's a lot of fun. Greg's room is always the first room I stop by, and when I get to the studio and say hi, and I think they're a really funny pairing. More of like a modern day like Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. It could be like I see that as what they are. And I was saying before that I think I was the only character that took his compliments as like I remember in the Beyond Salem when we were standing in the doorway and he's like, and who's this sexy piece? I remember playing it like Chad, because it's not and that's how the whole thing started. Yeah.
Are you pleased with how the whole end of the Abigail story played out to the audience? You were so wonderful in the scenes when we saw it finally unfold and he figured it all out.
I mean, look, I think the writers did a great job with the fact that I don't think anybody was planning or knew. They didn't have a lot of time to plan for Marcy not to be there. So I mean, could I nitpick certain things as Billy? Maybe, but like we did our best. Everybody did their best with what we had, and I thought the heart of who they were, especially in the last scene in the graveyard.
The scenes in the graveyard when she came to him in the graveyard, that was
that summed up everything, and like you could have gone from the death to that, and I think that's if you pay attention, there's a lot of stuff in between, and but. Yeah, I was happy. I love Marcy. That scene was all the scenes, even with Kate. Kate and I had a couple scenes like that, and it's really easy. And I miss Abigail, Marcy, and Kate in that part. But I think it was the only way to handle Chad and Abby. You can't send them off again. I'm glad they don't. I wouldn't have a job. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And the last thing I want to ask you is that I can't believe how Leo's just panned out for you. Like, it's just because you had wanted to play a gay character on a show, and that was something we had talked about years before getting the chance to do it. But who knew it was going to come in this package in this way?
I'm so grateful every day. The stuff that they write for me is there's such musicality to it that it's challenging in a way that I haven't been challenged in a long time, because I can't just look at the lines, memorize them, and go to set. It's like there's a rhythm, and finding that rhythm and really sort of getting myself into the shoes of who this character is challenging in the most fun way, and I adore him. I love his dynamics with pretty much everyone that he gets to interact with. I love the relationship with Gwen. I love, how he is with all the guys, and yeah, it's. I'm so grateful.
Zach, your nephew on Y&R?
Yes, he was. Yep.
Uncle Kevin.
Uncle Kevin. I said right before our shower scene in the Beyond Salem, I said, I'm going to whisper in your ear, call me Uncle Kevin.
Wrapping me up, so I have to go. Billy Flynn, it's so great to see you. Greg Rikaart, so good to see you. Watch him on Days of Our Lives streaming on Peacock.